guys? Welcome back to Ron's Rides. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video where I have our first 2021 Maserati Levante here on the channel. And it's not just a regular 2021, it is a Granlusso, which is the luxury model. So we're gonna dig deep into that. And don't worry, I know we're starting off big with the Granlusso for the Levante to have the first 2021, but if you look a little bit further back there are 3 more 2021 Levantes back there. So I'll have them all on the channel for you guys so you can see the different variants, prices, options, features, everything like that that's new, all the good stuff. So with that said, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and click that notification bell so you don't miss one of these new Levantes or any of the new 2021 Maseratis as they come in. With that said, let's get to it. The one thing you guys will notice is the same key fob is here for 2021 as it has been since Maserati did the revamp for 2014 on throughout. So it was a key fob that was ahead of its time because even Ferrari didn't have a key fob like this until the last 3 years. So with that said, you do have the unlock button here, the lock button here. All right, you have the trunk release and you have the remote start. You have to press these both twice. That's why the number 2 is on there. And you have a physical key release. If you press the button here, you will slide the physical key out just in case you need to get into your vehicle and say the battery's dead. The mechanical lock is the only way you can get in. You guys are used to the Granlusso for the previous model year. This trim, this luxury model trim, is not anything new, but there are a couple new things on this that you might appreciate. Now, let's talk about the normal Granlusso trim that you'll see on the previous models. So for the Granlusso that already came standard is the chrome around the fog lamps, all right? You also get the full matrix LED lights for the Granlusso, and you also get the chrome side blades there as well, all right? Then you have your aluminum finish on the front fascia, which is only for the Granlusso, and that's for the same previous model years. Same for the big trident in the middle, which carries all of your level 2 autonomous driving technology there. Now, what's new for 2021? Well, check out these blades, all right? In the grille, you'll see the chrome blades, and that's only for the Granlusso, but what you'll also see is black in the center because now it has a 3D groove texture that is new for 2021. When I showed you guys the Ghibli Grand Sport, it had these blades as well, and it had the shiny gloss black on the outside as you would see on the chrome here, but it had these kind of matte black inserts in the middle. All right, so now with this, you can really see the contrast on the Granlusso model because you get the chrome blades, but the black center. So you can definitely tell that there's a 3D effect there. It gives it a lot more depth and just a lot more kind of aggressive flavor. So I do really like that. When you step back and look at it from an angle, you can definitely see that 3D effect. And it looks really good, all right? So that is the Granlusso up front. Now you'll notice also Nero spec, so it is a gloss black paint. Nothing too crazy about that. Looking at the wheel setup, you'll see the black insignia inside of the 19-inch polished and staggered Zafito wheels. All right, you also have the red caliper with the white script, and you have the drilled rotors, which lets you know a special thing about the specific engine. Did you guys, if you've noticed before, that only the S models come with the drilled rotors. So you'll know that this is an S. We'll take a look at that engine bay in just a second. Now with that said, Granlusso badge on the side, just in case you didn't know which one you were driving or somebody else on the road wants to see that this is the luxury model. You also notice that. You also get the body color appearance there, all right? Now I know that that whole term is used for the Alfa Romeo kit, but same thing. It's body color appearance where the wheel wells here are gloss black and the side skirts are gloss black, same as the back for the bumper and for the rear wheel wells, all right? So with that said, you'll also get your typical chrome, all right, on your vents on the side. You'll get your chrome for your door handles, chrome for the window moldings, all right, and you have the panoramic roof up there as you guys can see, and we'll see it better from inside with the aluminum roof rails. A good spec going all the way across because this is the luxury model. It shows luxury. Now, what you guys will notice is not that black spoiler up there, but the new tail lamps. All right, so this is the second time we've seen the tail lamps because we saw it the first time on the Ghibli that I did just about a week ago. So now we have it on the Levante so you guys can see what the new boomerang taillights look like on the SUV. Now it's going to be very, very interesting seeing how these mesh well with different color cars because we saw it on the Grigio Ghibli Now we have a Nero Levante. But what about how the clear light setup looks like on a white car maybe, or on a blue car, or you know, anything else? So it's going to be very interesting seeing this whole setup. But I love the boomerang lights. I did a full demonstration on what they look like for you guys. I'll have to do one at night so you guys can really see what it looks like when it's actually dark out. But I love this look. It looks super clean. I mean, and it's just new. I mean, again, Maserati just changed the tail lamps for the first time since, again, they came back in 2014. So with that said, this is like a fresh look at what the Maserati styling does in 2021. So I really like how they did that. Big Maserati insignia right across the center there in chrome, Levante in chrome, and Q4. That means we are looking at a Q4. So we already know by the rotors that they are drilled. That means it's an S model, better horsepower, all right? And then we see the Q4, so we know it's an all-wheel drive. So there's different ways you can tell what kind of model this is without actually looking at the sticker or at the engine. Now with that said, going down below, you'll normally get for the Granlusso to match the front fascia, you'll get the rear aluminum diffuser as well, and you have the nice dual exhaust with the honeycomb grille that's actually functional, all right? That actually goes all the way through. So that looks good as well, and it sounds good. You probably want to hear it, right? All right, so obviously that was in sport mode, valves open to give you guys the best sound quality. Now with that said, while we're revving this engine, let's talk about the fuel economy. Premium fuel only, all right? So you're looking at 18 combined total, all right? 16 city, 22 highway for your miles per gallon. Again, with that being premium and a twin turbo V6, don't look to save too much money at the pumps, but that's not why you get a car like this. Of course, the engine we're used to for the Levante, all right, the twin turbo V6, that comes in a lot of the Maseratis these days, but we do have the GTS and the Trofeo. The V8 that goes in that is just incredible. But what you're looking at here is the twin turbo V6, 3 liters, all right, all-wheel drive with this, and an 8-speed ZF transmission paired with it. You're looking at a max horsepower of 424 with 428 foot-pounds of torque, and that's a top speed of 164 miles per hour with a 5-second flat 0 to 60. So yet not the fastest thing in the world. There are faster Levantes, but this is an engine that will do enough for what you need it for. When you're going crazy, then that's when you get the GTS, and when you're bat insane, then that's when you get the Trofeo. And when we talk about cargo space, unfortunately the Levante is one of the smaller in the segment. You have 20 cubic feet of space behind the rear seats. They do all fold down. You have a 60-40 split. As you can see, most of the chunk, the 60%, is on the driver and middle passenger seat side, and then you have the center feed through, and then you have the 40% on the passenger side. All right, so with that said, you have the big floor mat here, all right, that kind of protects everything with the Maserati insignia. This is part of a package we'll see on the sticker as well, all right? And underneath, you'll lift that up, and you have all the goodies here, where if you lift this right here, you'll see that big red strap. That red strap is going to make this super easy for me to hook onto here. All right, keep everything lifted up so then I can get to all of the great stuff, like my first aid kit, like my umbrella that says Levante on it, and like my front plate kit. And then once you get past this other extra space for stowage and tools, you can lift this up. And once you lift this up, you see I'm doing this with one hand, camera in the other hand. You have your spare tire there, your tools, you have your tire inflate kit there, you have your jack, and you have your battery tucked away. So they really did this in a nice, neat package. They made it very simple, very easy to do this all with one hand. Just lift it up, put it there. I mean, it's super simple. Now, a couple of things to note. There is a strap here to maybe hold a few things in right underneath your 12-volt plug-in, but there's not really a net that's up here specifically, but if you want to use a net, you could use it here and latch it on to all 4 corners to hold any kind of luggage or compartment stuff down. You also have your button to close and lock your rear lid. You can also do this a couple more ways. I'll do a video on that to skip all of the, how-to tutorial stuff on the overview video. But again, it's what you're used to for the Levante. You can take this off as well. It's super simple. As you can see, just unloop that, pull it right out, and you have a little bit more extra space when you take out your privacy cover. But other than that, yeah, it's a great spot to be, but it is one of the smaller in the segment. Now, a couple of things before we get all the way inside of this Levante SQ4. With that said, this is the luxury model. So Obviously, you're going to get a couple things standard, but you're going to get some things like the non-preset door hinge, all right? So you can open it to wherever you want. You can close it to wherever you want. If you park in the very back of a parking lot, which a lot of people with these cars do, and somebody decides to park right next to you, well, you don't have to necessarily open your door all the way up and risk hitting or doorknob dinging your car or that person's car, because there is no preset hinge to whether this opens or closes. You also have the dual pane glass windows that will help for sound deadening. Now, before you actually get in, you'll notice there's a couple of things that I didn't notice that Maserati changed for 2021, which you'll see is the seat controls are now done in aluminum with the black inserts. All right, so you can see that it's a great look. This is one of the things that a lot of people complain with, is that Maserati had buttons that look like they came from out of a Chrysler vehicle. Now, with that said, I understand that. So I always said, change the buttons to aluminum, give them a more, I guess, fancier finish, a more better feeling finish, quality feel, quality looks. And this is what I would consider is a quality feel and quality look when it comes to your buttons. Now, you do also have the Maserati side sill here as well, done in aluminum, all right, and no aluminum pedals for the Granlusso luxury model. You will get those in the Grand Sport though. Before we even get in, you'll see Nero leather, you'll see white contrasted stitching, you'll see aluminum, you'll see a high gloss metal net trim. You'll see a lot of things here on this door paneling. Yes, we have it back. The pellet to suit the leather, the kind of like wicker basket looking trim. That is a great look, and I love these seats. This is the second time I think I've seen these seats, maybe the second or third. Now, with that said, you have the sport seats here, all right? So you have the big bolstering, and it's not common that you'll have sport seats in a Granlusso model. So that is something new for us today. That is also paired with the contrasted stitching, and you have the contrasted Maserati insignia done and stitched well. Altogether, this has been done so beautifully. You have the Alcantara on the pillars, the Alcantara all throughout the headliner, the big panoramic roof. I mean, all of this looks so phenomenal together. I really love this combo, and I know it's a hit or miss, it's a love or hate. Some people don't like this, but I think it's something different that a lot of car makers don't really do when it comes to their seats. They don't take risks like this using different fabrics, and Maserati did it with the Zegna silk, and they did it with the pellet to suit the leather for Zegna as well. So with that said, I mean, wow. So stepping inside, you'll also notice that we have the full leather steering wheel, and it's not the sport steering wheel, the regular steering wheel, and we have the big aluminum paddle shifters as well. Also new for 2021, you'll see the new gauge setup with the new TFT screen, and there'll be new graphics once we turn it on in just a second. And the biggest thing you'll notice is the new Maserati MIA system for this touchscreen. Now, with that said, that is not the bigger 10.1 touchscreen. This is the same 8.4 inch that Maserati had for the 2020 model year. Yes, the Ghibli does have the upgraded 10.1 inch screen, but the Levante doesn't get the same layout for 2021. They have the new system, but they keep the same size screen. So keep that in mind. If you get a 2021 Levante, your screen is going to be smaller of that than the 10.1 inch Ghibli screen, but you will have the same new software on that model. So keep that in mind. We'll take a closer look at the different features, and we will take a closer look at everything that's involved in the center console. All right, now with that said, let's start this thing up. All right, and we will get this rolling, so you will see the new graphic here on the TFT screen. Levante shows up. All right, and you see those beautiful aluminum brush dials. All right, you see the new graphics. Everything looks so smooth, so clean. It's just a refreshing look to look at here. Now, with that said, we'll go over to this new MIA system, and I'm not going to go fully detailed into this system because I did a full 20-minute video deep diving into this new MIA system. So make sure you guys check that out, because it's going to be going over everything that you see here, but just on the Ghibli. But you'll notice that things look a little bit more scrunched in. If you guys noticed the Ghibli video, you'll notice that you had a better use of space when it comes to this screen layout. Now it's a little different for the Levante because of the smaller screen. So if you guys will notice here that you can still do the same thing, it's still super smooth, super fluent. All right, and this is powered by Android. So this is an Android software setup, but it still has Apple CarPlay, and it still has obviously Android Auto with it being an Android system. But yes, there are some things on this screen that's a little different from the actual Ghibli screen just as far as layout goes. There's one widget less in the center to where we had 3 widgets, so now we have 2 widgets, all right, and then your setup here is basically the same. But this is a little different than before, so keep that in mind when you are purchasing a Levante or looking at it. It's going to be the same functions as that deep dive I did on the Ghibli, but it's going to be in a smaller setup. So I just wanted to let you guys know that just because it looks a little different. Now, just to remind you guys of the driving modes, right now we are in normal. You can go into off-road mode. That's going to raise up your vehicle because this is riding on air suspension. Off-road height 1 achieved. We also have ice mode, which is increased efficiency. That's going to be for your best fuel economy, better used for cruise control or on the highway. And then we also have sport mode. Opens up those valves, turns off, start, stop, and you're ready to really rip it. I mean, RPMs are gonna go crazy with this thing. You're really gonna have your most aggressive driving experience, and it's actually going to lower the car. As you can see, the Aero 1 ride height is done with sport mode, all right? So it's gonna lower it for a better stance. You also can change up your suspension. As you can see, soften dampers there, which is the S and the damper logo there once I press that button. So I want to show you that up there as far as a visual, but you will also see it here. So you'll see that I do have an individual traction off button, all right? I have an off-road button, which I press there, the ice button there, and the sport mode button there with the soften dampers there. 2-track system for your 8-speed ZF transmission. 2-track meaning drive here, move it over for manual. I can either use the gear select here to shift, or I can use the paddle shifters, all right? And then push it back over for drive, up for neutral, all right? I can't just go up for reverse. I gotta use that trigger here and then go up to reverse. You know, you don't want any accidents. Neutral to reverse. And then press P for park there, all right? When you do put it in reverse though, you have the nice 360 camera, real time for the back view. You have just the back view, you have the front, and you have the front end 360. And this is super clear, especially on this new system. The MIA, I mean, wow, the screen resolution just looks great with this setup. So again, you guys are used to the 360 camera, but the resolution is just out of this world with that setup. So I guess Maserati doesn't want anybody breaking anything here, so they have a sticker to open the lid. Push it down, let it go back, all right? And then if you want to close it, there you go, all right? So, I mean, it's pretty simple, but again, they just want you to know how to do this so you do not break it. Open up the lid and you'll see a USB 2.0 there. You'll see an SD card plug-in, and you'll see an aux cable with cubby space. A little bit different from the Ghibli, because the Ghibli actually had a wireless charger slot up here, all right, and it had a USB-C with a USB 2.0. So for the Levante, not getting the same flavor here. You can even open up the little tray here and you'll reveal your cup holders and your lighter, but still no USB-C and no wireless charger. Well, look here. Well, same thing. No USB-C, no wireless charger, a big deep cup holder setup, and you can actually add a little bit of air by hitting that button and let the AC flow through. And you also have a max 180 watt, but not the same setup as the Ghibli. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that comes standard on that Ghibli that I reviewed, and it probably should, but with that said, I'm not seeing the wireless charger setup, and I'm not seeing that USB-C, which means that the Levante is kind of lagging behind when it comes to the screen size and when it comes to the USB-C and the wireless charging for 2021. So we'll go deeper into that when I do the videos of the things that Maserati could have done better. Again, you'll see the parking brake here, all right, not parking sensors. You'll see your dial, your rotary dial, all right, for your Maserati MIA system. You also see the knob for volume for your radio, and you'll press this down to turn off your screen. Not your radio, but your screen, all right? So if I hold that down, takes a second, and then it powers off the screen. You see my hand still on the button, all right? So it's not for your actual radio to where you could, you know, pause your radio, turn off your radio. This is actually for your screen, and it takes a second, so don't freak out when you don't see it right away. You have your browse and enter, all right? Because you can't press this in to enter anymore for 2021. You actually have to press browse and enter for your actual screen setup here to use it there, and your mute button there. If you guys did want to use your radio buttons as well, you do have the trigger here to volume on the side here, and the triggers on the back here to change your station. Again, same setup that you guys are used to for this, but I'll get to that in just a second. All right, then you have your hazard button there, and then you have your ride height button where you can lower and raise the vehicle using that air ride suspension. Again, since you do have your level 2 autonomous driving, you have all your controls here, like your adaptive cruise control setup here. All right, you also have your highway assist, and you have your hill descent assist as well. And then on this side, you have your hands-free controls there. All right, so same that you're used to. And then for your TFT screen, your menu button will be here. Press up and down to cycle through the screens, and press N to enter. So I'm actually going to do that just so you guys can see a few of these screens and how they look like now for the 2021 model year. The graphics are so much better. It's so much simpler. It almost reminds me of a Comic Sans font. But with that said, it just looks a lot cleaner. The lines, man, I love the way this looks. Now you do have sub-menus as well. Once you press enter, you'll see the little dots down there, and it lets you know you have sub-menus to go through. So just not the first one. So as you guys can see, distance 12,403 miles, or 365 days into your first service on this Levante. Let's see, we got sub-menus on, let's see, no, here we go, sub-menus here, trip A, trip B. You also have your fuel economy there. All right, driver assistance. So everything that you guys are used to, but I wanted to show you what everything looked like on this screen. Now, let's turn up, and I don't mean turn up that way, but turn up to this big panoramic roof. Look at all of this natural light. It's all mechanical. All right, so just press a button right here, and you will get that sliding back. All right, you also have up here your home link. All right, so your garage door openers. You have also your SOS. You have your parking sensors, dome light, reading light, trunk release, everything there that you're used to. They don't have anything on the visors here but some nice soft Alcantara, and obviously a mirror too. And then over here on the side, they have the start stop button. They also have your lighting controls here as well. I do wish that Maserati would have changed the start stop button to match those of the seat control buttons, where I saw, that we had the aluminum buttons with the black centers. It would look a lot better if the start stop button looked that way as well, just to add a little bit of quality to it. But hey, maybe for the full refresh models, we'll see it. Now in the rear, you'll have the same flavor, but this is a Granlusso, so you will have soft closed doors, as you can see there. We'll go inside, and you'll see that you get the side sill done in aluminum as well. All right, you also get the same setup on the door, leather. All right, you have the metal net trim, you have the contrasted stitching, aluminum as well, and you have the Harman Kardon speakers, and you also have the heated seats, as you can see down there, which is part of a package we'll get to on the sticker. All right, now with that said, the same pellet to suit the leather for the Xenia package there, and it looks good. Stitching in the headrest, contrasted stitching on the actual seats, and look at that, guys. The bucket seats with the weave, the carbon weave on there, just looks so good. Actually, carbon weave, leather weave. This is actually a leather weave, and wow, I love the look of this. Again, it feels cool, it looks cool. It's like something that you never have in any other car in this segment, so I really love that. Now you do have your center feed through as well. You pull this down, and you got your cup holders there, done with aluminum trim around those. Now, if we were to lift this up and go right here to the center, Hvac vents as well, and you have your USB 2.0 charge only. No USB-Cs in here that I have found yet. So it's looking like, yeah, the 2021 Levante may be stuck in the past a little bit. And then you have your lighter there. You also have, you guys will get this when you first get these cars here. All right, so can you see it? There we go. Yeah, just for the sense. Yeah, these are shipped over from Italy just like this with these bags in here. So in case you guys saw that while we were getting in and were wondering what it was, that's what it is. So with that said, let's look at the 2021 Levante as Granlusso. All right, so color, exterior, Nero. Interior is Nero and Grigio. All right, and you have the MSRP at $93,890 before options. After your options, you are looking at a total price of $102,849, and that's after an $1,195 destination charge with a preparation and delivery of $300. Was it more or less than what you guys expected for this spec? Now with that said, let's take a look at the additional options. The climate package at $450 gives you the heated rear seats and the windshield washer nozzles. You also have the gloss red calipers for $400. You have that Xenia Plata de Suta leather, all right, the upgraded leather, $5,000 for this woven leather. And you have the high gloss metal net trim for your trimming, and that's $1,000. Then you're looking at your illuminated door sill. That's going to be $250, with your accessories coming in at $364 for the Levante First Aid Roadside Kit, the sunshade, the umbrella, and the luggage compartment mat. So those are your additional options for this Granlusso. Now, coming standard is what you want to pay attention to. What's standard on the Granlusso for 2021? So some things that will stand out would be stuff like your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, your Harman Kardon radio, your Skyhook Performance suspension, your air suspension, your 19-inch wheels, all right, your Xenia silk leather upholstery, your open pore wood trim, which we don't have because we optioned it different here. Stuff like your soft closed doors, everything here that you see comes standard on this car. So you guys have to check it out, make sure that this makes sense for you guys. Again, it's a big price. It is a big price, but is it worth it? You guys let us know. So let's take one more quick spin around the Levante with the lights lit up. Fog lights, full matrix LED lights, the switchback turn signal, this is the LED up top there. Looks really good, really sharp, especially with the Granlusso with that chrome blade that goes horizontally and parallel with the lighting. And then when you have the horizontal chrome above the Maserati insignia there, I mean, it's just a great combo overall. So figured I'd show you guys what it looked like up close. All right, everything going. Obviously, you do have the turn signal on the side view mirror. All right, so you can kind of see that there. Again, in the daylight, Florida sun really kills that vibe. And then once you go to the rear, you see the new tail lamps there, all lit up. And the boomerang lights look really good. I love the look of these. The style is just really cool. It was one of the best things they did for the 2021 model year, hands down. But what did you guys think about the 2021 Maserati Levante Granlusso S? This is a luxury model, so we had some of the great leather in there, we had the great materials, and we just had an overall great looking spec. And did you guys like the changes that you saw for the 2021 models? Let me know down in the comments below. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Giving it a thumbs up will help get it up in the rankings. More people can see it. We can have a bigger discussion on the first 2021 Maserati Levante Granlusso here on the channel. Now, if you guys want to further help support the channel, always check the links down below. We have a one-time link donation for my PayPal, my Cash App, and my Venmo. Just in case you guys want to donate $1 or $2 to the channel, you can help support that way. Or check out the Patreon, be a monthly subscriber. And you can check out the Rounds Rides merch, where you can get t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs, everything Rounds Rides. So make sure you check that out as well. Now, you guys can also follow me on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. I even have a TikTok now, where you guys can see more Maserati, Ferrari, and Alfa Romeo content that you don't normally see here on the channel. And make sure you also subscribe to the channel, but click that notification bell so you don't miss one Rounds Rides video. And with that said, you guys be blessed. Have a great day. We'll talk to you guys in the next Rounds Rides video. Peace.